Welcome back to this series on Java methods. In this video, I would like to discuss a good coding practice called method overloading. Method overloading is considered a good coding practice. So you don't have to overload your methods. And it seems like it's an error when you say method overloading, but it's actually a good thing. And so method overloading reduces the number of methods we have to remember. So here's an example of print bill. Where we have the same method name, but what's different is that they have different parameters defined. And we're going to take a look at this example a little bit more, but let's take a look at another example that we've been using throughout the semester. And it's called the print line method, right? So the system.out.println. The print line method is overloaded many different times here. So here's the class print stream, but within print stream, we have the print line method. So we have one that accepts or defines a Boolean parameter. We have another one that defines a char, and then so forth. And so same method name, but different parameters defined. So if we look at this program here, right, we've done this all semester long or all throughout these videos. And so here we have system.out.println. It can accept a string text. So hello world. You can say system.out.println and it accepts a Boolean value is true. And so the reason we're able to do this is because this print line method has been defined multiple times. Same method name, but different arguments or different parameters defined. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's take a look at another example here. From the previous slide that we just looked at here. And before we actually look at this slide here, let's actually run the program just to prove that this actually outputs to the terminal. So if we run this program, we get hello world, true, 24, 2.1, even though we're passing in different data types to this print line method. And again, this is nothing but a method that's defined within the print stream class, but it's just overloaded, same name, different argument lists. In this example here, they're accepting one argument, but you can also have multiple arguments that you could pass into the print line method. So overloading methods. So here's an example that I mentioned at the beginning of the video where we have print bill, same method name, different parameters defined for these methods. So in this first one here, we have print bill, but then we have a numeric value data type, and we have the variable name balance. The second one here is, again, it's named print bill, but it has two different parameters defined. We have the numeric data type balance, and then we have a numeric data type of discount rate. So in this case here, instead of saying num, this would be double balance, double discount rate. So what I've done here is I've coded out an example of this program. Let me just make this so that you can see it in the entire screen. So let me just talk through this program, and then we'll discuss how overloaded methods is a good practice here. So in this program, we bring in our scanner. So we create an instance of that. We declare the input and then create a new instance of the scanner object. Then we define some variables, balance, cost. So all this is doing here is just say that this is a dry cleaning application. We can figure out the cost and if you're going to get a discount. So we'll ask the end user to input the number of shirts you like dry clean. They'll input the number. We parse the number into an integer data type, the number of shirts. And then here we do the calculation, number of shirts times fixed item cost, which is $6.99. So it'll say, if they say 4 times $6.99, that'll be stored inside the cost variable. And then we have a decision structure. So if cost is less than or equal to 20, we'll run this version of the print bill. Else, we'll run this version of the print bill. Again, same method name, different arguments defined. And this is how the Java SDK or the Java standard library is given to us. You'll see that the method names are the same, but the variables or the parameters that are defined in those methods are different. So here, if we run this program, we put in one shirt, what method should run is this print bill, and it is basically say thank you for the order, and then we'll get this information here. So it'll just be $6.99, right? But if we run it again, and let's say 4 this time, that'll definitely get us over the $20 or the 20 threshold, and it will run this method this time. And so, like I said, overloaded methods is a good coding practice that allows us to define or use the same method name, but then define different parameters that we can pass into the method. And again, this helps the developer not necessarily have to think about several different methods, because we could say print bill cost under 20 and then say print bill cost over 20. But instead of actually saying having two different methods with two different method names, we just have one method name, and then we just have to understand what parameters we can pass into those methods. So hopefully this makes sense. And hopefully I would say pause this video, study this example in terms of how we use the same method name, but different parameters defined to get different intended outputs. So stay tuned.